Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Doherty, aka Joshua Lloyd Fox. I'm an author. I'm a veteran. I'm a dad of a veteran. I've worked for the U.S. government and the DoD for 28 years, and I don't want to get on here and be an alarmist. But some of the things that I've seen lately, especially in the escalation of the war with Iran, has me really worried. So currently, I'm sitting not even a mile from Tinker Air Force Base. I work for Boeing currently. And the E-6B Mercury aircraft is headquartered here for the U.S. Navy. It's a Navy aircraft, but they put them on Air Force bases. I also worked E-6B at Pax River Naval Air Station in Maryland. And if for those of you that don't know, the E-6B Mercury is called the Doomsday plane. Its entire operational capability is creating a basically a radio antenna that can send very low frequency radio signals to nuclear submarines underwater, up to a mile underwater. And in the sudden case of nuclear escalation, the E-6's only job is to assure that it can give launch commands to submarines. And they just sent at least one, if not two, E-6Bs over to the Middle East. I don't believe the E-6B has been out of the continental United States since 9/11. And if it is in the theater of war in the Middle East, that means that nuclear escalation is on the table. Now, the scary part about this is that I have worked for the U.S. Air Force, the U.S. Navy, and now as a contractor at Boeing for 28 years. I've served under 5 presidents. I deployed to the Middle East 4 times during Operation Northern Watch, Operation Southern Watch, Afghanistan, and Iraq. I was also on SAR teams at the very end of my Air Force career where I got injured. I'm more scared now than I ever was during those times. Not because of the risk to U.S. service members. We know what we sign up for. But because of the guy in the White House who wants to be the first president to do a lot of things, has no problem knocking down part of the White House, has no problem just stampeding all over the Constitution, and now it almost feels like he's a schoolyard bully that wants to be the first president since FDR to push a button. That's scary. It's so scary that the fate of the world is in the hands of a lunatic, a power-hungry narcissist, ego dripping out of every word that he says. That's why I'm scared. That's why I'm scared for the United States. I'm scared for our service members here and abroad. And I'm scared that the fact that half, not even half, but almost half of the U.S. Population is approving of this because it's all happening over there. It's not here. It's on their TV screens. It's on the news. All the pictures of rubble and things blowing up it's like a reality television show that somehow we don't believe is reality. But when it starts falling over here, and don't get it twisted, Iran has been waiting for 47 years for us to do this. Every single military and parliamentary like swear-ins and beginnings of their years, for 47 years, everybody in their parliament and their government has chanted death to the United States, death to Israel for 47 years. They have been waiting for this. We knew back in 1998 that Iran was the one country over there that we didn't want to fool with. And this has nothing to do with a regime change. Iran was sitting at the peace tables on February 27th, ready to sign an accord to never have a nuclear weapon when we struck. This isn't about regime change. This isn't about them building a nuclear bomb. This isn't about anything more than narcissistic world leaders like Netanyahu and Trump who have wanted this their whole lives. And that's scary. And the only reason I'm making this video is because I worked the E-6B for 9 years. I'm going to put another post with a link to a news article about it. It said that they got the newest E-6B upgraded aircraft in 2023. It was tail number 920. I worked it for 9 years at VX-20 Test and Evaluation Squadron in Pax River, Maryland. I was a specialist on it. I worked the engines and the hydraulic systems and the fuel systems, but we launched it out every day. We did all of the block mod updates for them. We did all of the testing and the flying. And some of my closest friends worked E6B their whole lives. And I know what that plane is very capable of. I walked up inside that airplane thousands of times and walked by the 2 key registers where they put the keys in and turn. We see that in the movies, and everybody's like, it can't really be that way. It really be that way. And this aircraft's whole and sole purpose is to assure that we can send the launch commands to our nuclear submarines, which all hold Minutemen II nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. And they launch them a mile under the water. We have subs all over that area. This is scary, folks, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but be scared. And if you approve of this, when the proverbial shit hits the fan, you better be out front fighting, because I won't even get into the holy war stuff. It's just scary. Protect your family, hug your kids, guys, because we're putting military might into the theater of war that is going to escalate everything just because of the presence of the aircraft there. I'll try to come on here and give more update from my 28 years of knowledge of this, if this helped anybody. And feel free to ask questions in the comments. I always like to answer questions, but scary stuff, folks.